And welcome to another very exciting session on Unacademy CAT-alyst. In today's session, we are going to talk about the backup plan. A backup plan which all aspirants should have. What if the CAT exam doesn't go well? What are your backup options? Do you write the CAT again? Are there other colleges which accept students without the CAT score, or there are other alternate career options? Are there best B schools which accept students with low CAT scores? We are going to answer all such questions today. I'm going to give you the details of colleges accepting scores with 80 to 90 percentile CAT score, 70 to 80 percentile, and even 60 to 70 percentile, and talk about other career options as well as executive MBAs. Interesting session. Make sure you watch this entire video so that you don't miss out on the details. Let's get started. So this is me, Parikshit Saikia, your educator on Unacademy with amongst the highest live class ratings on the platform. Thanks to all my learners. New batches are starting on Unacademy in the next few days. The 13th and the 17th of November, the next upcoming 3 batches on Unacademy. You wish to enroll on any of them? Remember to subscribe using the code Parikshit Live, which is there on your screen, because this code will give you maximum discounts as well as give you free mentorship from my side. Okay, let's get started with today's session. Fine. What if I don't do well in the CAT, right? Probably this is not a very comfortable question to answer, but nevertheless, all of us should have a backup plan, right? So the question to answer today is, what if CAT doesn't go well? What if CAT doesn't go well? And this is like all other things in your life, right? This too should also have a backup plan. Doesn't go well. I think the backup plan broadly got to be classified into 3 buckets. Bucket 1, other exams. Bucket 1 would be other exams that you might want to consider. Okay. Bucket 2 would be colleges accepting colleges accepting low CAT score. Accepting low CAT score. Accepting low CAT score. This is also very important to know, because just in case you are not in the top 5 percentile, what happens? Low CAT score. And the third bucket that I would like to introduce today is, should I write the CAT again? Should I write the CAT again? I think I'm going to talk about these 3 buckets in greater detail. Should I write CAT again? Now, 3 things, okay? I think broadly these are your 3 buckets. These are your 3 buckets. Let's consider each of these buckets now in greater details. First one, other exams. What other exams can you write if the CAT doesn't go well? I will say non-CAT exams. Non-CAT exams. Now, it is not just sufficient to know about the non-CAT exams, to just write the non-CAT exams, but you should also have strategies in place to crack this non-CAT exams. I have prepared a table which will tell you in all details, right, in greater details, all the non-CAT exams that are available today and your strategies to crack these exams. Okay, let's look at the first exam, the ZAT. You know about the ZAT, which colleges accept the ZAT? First is XLRI Jamshedpur, XIMB Bhubaneswar, and IMT Ghaziabad are some of the top colleges which accept the ZAT score. When is the ZAT held? In the first week of January. Now, what is most important is this particular section. Differences from the CAT. You have always prepared for the CAT, right? And hence it is essential you need to know how each of these exams stand out in comparison to the CAT, so that whatever is the missing portion, the delta portion which you have not covered for the CAT, you can cover it for these upcoming exams, so that you do well at least in these exams. For this ZAT, you have 2 separate sections, decision making and GK, which is not present in the CAT. What is decision making? Decision making is all about testing your managerial skills, right? Let's take an example of a decision-making question. As an example, let's say you are the owner of a you know what, cosmetic shop in your neighborhood. So you are a local brand, but a very popular brand in your city. You have owned a cosmetic shop. What happens after a few years? Another cosmetic shop comes up just adjacent to your shop. What do you do? So you will have options, right? Option one, reduce the prices of your current cosmetic products. B, carry out a promotional campaign. Three, there'll be a lot of options. And fourth option could be do nothing. Now here you might want to think about a lot of strategies. You might want to cut down costs. You might want to give out discounts. You want to carry out a marketing promotion. But the correct answer to this question in the ZAT paper, this is a previous ZAT paper question. The correct answer is do nothing. Now, why is this do nothing? Because as per the ZAT paper that year, the correct answer was do nothing. Why? The rationale was cosmetics is something that people don't want to experiment too often. Brand, they are very loyal to the brand. And once someone uses a cosmetic product for ages, right, they generally don't switch very easily. So no matter, even if a new cosmetic product comes up in your neighborhood, your sales should not be affected considerably because you have a loyal brand following. And as you know, cosmetics is something people don't switch brands easily. So as a manager, you don't need to do anything, and that would have been the correct answer for the decision-making question in your ZAT. That's an example of a managerial skill-based decision-making question in the ZAT. You got to prepare for such questions separately. Take out time, solve out previous question papers, and only then can you master the decision-making section. This is a this is a completely separate section with its own sectional cutoff. So it is not sufficient to just clear cutoffs in LRDI and quants, but you also, and verbal, and you also got to clear the cutoffs in decision making for getting a call from the coveted XLRI, Jamshedpur or IIM Bhubaneswar. Result format for the ZAT is in percentile format. What are the recommended strategies here? Very important. The first point, accuracy is more important as time per question is higher. What do you mean? Does that paper is the only paper which is tougher than the CAT? Sometimes the sectional cutoffs, let's say in quants, could be as low as a single digit number. You get 3 questions correct or 4 questions correct in that. In the quant section, you clear the cutoffs. So no one is bothered about how many questions did you answer. We are more bothered about could you solve at least 3-4 of the questions, because questions are going to be difficult. Hence, it is accuracy and not speed that matters in the ZAT. Accuracy, correct? And then decision making, you need intense practice, because this is something probably you have never done before. You have not prepared while preparing for the CAT. This is the delta portion, got to be covered separately. Next, IIFT. The IIFT exam is scheduled just 1 week after your CAT, right? Just 1 week after your CAT. So there are 3 IIFT colleges, Kolkata, Delhi and Kakinagar, right? 3 IIFT colleges. All 3 except the IIFT score. The timeline is December, and generally December or January, but this year it has been held in the month of December. Again, how is it different from the CAT? The decision making is not there like in the ZAT. But what do we have in IIFT? You have GK and current affairs in IIFT. GK and current affairs. I hope you understand the difference between GK and current affairs. What is GK? Example of GK could be, where does the river Yamuna originate? Which place? That could be a GK, static GK. The answer to that question will not change whether you write the IIFT this year or 10 years down the line. But current affairs could be, who is the finance minister of the United Kingdom? Could be a current affairs question, correct? So current affairs and GK is something that you got to prepare separately. And because there will be hardly a few days, right, after your CAT to prepare for the IIFT, I would say concentrate on current affairs. Concentrate on current affairs because GK is huge. You cannot prepare GK now, but current affairs, like how many gold medals did some of the countries like the United States, China, Russia win in the recent Olympics? How many medals did India win? India's gold medal, name of the winners, right? Oscar entries, such questions you can definitely study a bit before your IFT, because GK also will have a separate sectional cutoff which you need to clear if you got to get calls from the IFT colleges. Result format will again be in percentile format. Percentile format. What are the recommended strategies? Vocabulary and reading speed should be good. Here, speed is important. Why? In IIFT, the passages are really, really long. They are not inference based, but they are rather lengthy. Lengthy would mean you need to scroll up and down using the vertical scroll bar, correct? And also be able to read fast, otherwise you will not be able to complete all the questions. Marks per minute approach over marks per question. What does this mean? Remember, as an example, in GK, in the IIFT, every question, the weightage will be less per question. Let's say GK carries 0.5 marks, but an LR question would carry 1 mark. So, per question. So, can you give equal time to one GK and one Quants, or for that matter, one LR question? No. Why? For simple reason, GK is just 0.5 marks per question, while LR it is twice. It is twice the marks. Hence, for this particular exam, where the sectional marks per question is different, you got to focus on marks per minute approach rather than a marks per question. You can't say 1 minute, one question. No, what I would rather focus is, if the marks per question is high, give more time to it. If the marks per question is low, give low time to it. As simple as that. Next, NMAT by GMAT. Okay. The third exam. The NMAT is another very important exam that you should write, right? Which top colleges accept the NMAT score? NMIMS Mumbai, EXIME Bhubaneswar, as well as SDAB. This is a college which is run in collaboration with the Times Group. It's a good college. Timeline of the exam. So it has already started and will continue till the December Jan, right? So please make sure that you write the NMAT, because just in case the CAT doesn't go well, you have a backup option to fall upon the NMAT. What are the differences from the CAT? There is no negative marking and can be taken more than once. The NMAT exam can be taken more than once. What is the result format? The result format is an absolute score rather than a percentile. What is important here? Speed is very important. NMAT, the questions are very easy. What is important is how fast can you attempt, right? How fast can you answer? And then every question to be marked. You can't leave out a question. Only when you mark a question can you go to the next question. Also, it is very important to understand that NMAT is a computer adaptive test. Computer adaptive. We will call it CAT versus CBT. Computer based. So this is not the CAT exam. Okay, CAT. What is CAT? NMAT is a computer adaptive test rather than a computer based test. Now let's try to understand the difference. Very important difference here. You know what? In the NMAT, let's say this is your question number 1. On your x-axis, question number 2, question 3, question 4, and so on. On the y-axis, you have the difficulty level of the question. You have the difficulty level of the question in your NMAT. Okay. So what is NMAT? A computer adaptive test. Let's try to understand. Now what happens? In the NMAT, you get the first question of a certain difficulty. Let's say the difficulty level is out here. It's a relatively easy question. Okay, you have a relatively easy question. If you get question number 1 correct, remember you can't skip. You have to tick an option, right? If you hit the answer and you get the question correct, what will happen? The next question, the difficulty level will go up. The difficulty level of the next question will go up. If you get question number 2 also correct, the difficulty level of the third question will go farther up. Similarly, 3 also correct, you will get the fourth question still higher difficulty. So the difficulty level will keep on increasing depending upon your answer in the previous question. Depending upon your answer in the previous question, and hence whenever they do a normalization, what would happen is the questions which are marked difficult, would have a higher weightage compared to the easier questions. Do you get the point? Hence, it is very, very essential that you get the first few questions correct. Why? Again, I will tell you why. If you don't get the first few questions correct, I must tell you what happens. Let's say in the NMAT, the first question, this is the difficulty level. You get the question wrong. What happens? Next question difficulty level would decrease, and hence the weightage per question would also decrease. The second question also you go wrong. Again, the difficulty level goes down further. Third also you go wrong. Let's say third you go correct. So slightly the difficulty level will increase. But the problem is, even if you want to go back to the original difficulty level, which was somewhere out here, you will have to be at question number 5. And that would mean you have wasted 5 questions to go back to ground zero. Go back to ground zero, right? Hence, it is essential that in the NMAT, the first few questions are correct so that the difficulty level increases, the weightage per question increases, and after that, even if you go down, you know what? The weightage will still be high because you are at a difficult level. So NMAT is a computer adaptive test. Remember this. It is not a computer based test, it is a computer adaptive test. Depending upon your answer in the question, the next question will appear accordingly. This is not the case with CAT. This is not the case with the CAT exam, right? CAT exam is a computer based test. Question 1 and question 2, what is there in question 2 doesn't depend on your answer in question 1. What is there in question 2 doesn't depend on your answer in question 1, right? Question 3 doesn't depend. But in the NMAT, what question appears on your next screen is dependent on what answer you give on your current screen. So very important that in the NMAT, you do the first few questions correct so that the weightage per question increases and hence you get up at a high score. Next, SNAP exam. Next is the SNAP exam. Now, the SNAP exam is for colleges under the Symbiosis University. Top colleges are SIBM Pune and SCMHRE Pune. Timeline of the exam, it's in December and January. It's in December and January. How is it different from the CAT? There are different marking schemes and can be taken twice. Result format, it's a percentile format. It's a percentile format. Percentile format, you will get your results. What are your recommended strategies? Accuracy and speed are both keys here. Why? Remember the SNAP exam is easy. How many questions do you attempt and how many you get correct is all that matters. Last year, I must tell you, out of the 60 questions, people have got around 40 to 45 questions correct. 40 to 45 questions correct out of 60. That's a huge number, right? Huge number. 60, 45 out of 60. Remember, that was the last year SNAP for you. So speed is important along with accuracy, and definitely practice mock exams, mock SNAP, so that you familiarize yourself with the new pattern of the SNAP. There is another non-CAT exam which is not there on your screen, but you must consider it, which is the non-CAT exam, the MyCAT. The MyCAT exam. Which college is this for? MyCAT is for college MICA. Which is MICA? MICA is Mudra Institute of Communication, Ahmedabad. A very good college for marketing and sales. So the timeline is December and Jan. So there are 2 rounds of written exam. Round 1 is your CAT exam. So they have a minimum cutoff in the CAT. Let's say around 85 percentile. That's what the cutoff is generally. Around 85 percentile will be required minimum in the CAT. And if you get that, you are eligible to write the MyCAT. How is it different? It is very different from the CAT. Which sections does the MyCAT exam have? The MyCAT exams have a psychographic test. Psychographic test, right? Psychometric test. It's a psychometric test, the MyCAT, right? Psychometric test. Then you will also have descriptive writing. So generally, for people who are very creative, and who are good in verbal, I would say verbal is basically not in your grammar, but written skills, you can write things well. Given a topic, you can describe it well, right? In a few words, 60, 100 words, you can describe. You can analyze both sides, both convergent and divergent opinions to a topic. These are the type of students that the MICA looks for. MICA, again, I will say, is one of the top colleges in the country for marketing and sales, compared to in fact, the best in the country. For finance students, MyCAT is not the college to aspire for. This is only for marketing and sales. Result format, you get absolute score. Absolute score. There is no percentile, but you will get an absolute score. And recommended strategy, because the exam is so different from your CAT, so different. Remember, you do not be a good in maths. You don't have to be good in LRDI. You need to be good in creative writing. Hence, because the exam is so different, you got to familiarize yourself with past MyCAT papers. Familiarize yourself. So you need to know how the MyCAT paper appears, right? Familiarize yourself with past MyCAT papers. Very, very, very important if you wish to do well in the MyCAT examination. Next, so these are your non-CAT exams. These are your non-CAT exams, which is your option 1 if you don't do well in the CAT. What other options and alternate strategies do you have? What other options and alternate strategies do you have? I'm just trying to open the whiteboard. Give me a moment. Okay, just a moment. I'm just trying to open the whiteboard. Okay, no problem. Let's try to open a new one. New sheet. Yeah, one moment. Okay, there's something wrong with the whiteboard. No problem then. Okay. Anyway, I think I have given you a fair idea. I have given you a fair idea of the non-CAT exams that you can write, of the non-CAT exams that you can write, right? The other options could have been to write bank exams, right? You could have written some of the bank exams. What other things you could have written? You could have written for the executive MBA. Let's say if you don't do well in the CAT, you have got an option for executive MBA, right? Executive MBA option is also there. Or if you don't do well in the CAT, you can also decide, and let's say you're very interested to pursue a career, let's say in finance. You can opt for some of the finance certifications like CFA, FRM, etc. Yes. So there are a lot of options available. There are in fact a lot of options available for those of you who wish to pursue a career in finance. Okay, there is some issue with the not able to open the board. Fine, we'll continue this class later on. I'll take up another session. But yeah, a few announcements. The iconic subscription is available for those of you who are interested. Make sure when you subscribe, use my code Parikshat Live. And yeah, there is an offer alert. Anytime you wish to join us, remember there is a current offer going on valid till the 17th of November. You can use my code Parikshat Live for further discounts, for more discounts compared to what you have, right? If you need more discounts, use the code which is there on your screen, Parikshat Live. And yeah, if you're a 2022 aspirant, how to start your preparation, what are the important topics, what is the syllabus for the CAT, all of it is available on Unacademy, absolutely free. Do have register using my code Parikshat Live. And yeah, the mega combat is scheduled for this Sunday, 21st of November at 5 p.m. Do register. A lot of prize money to be won. And the Snap mock test, we also have it for free on the 16th of November. Something that you must not miss. And yeah, anytime you have doubts, make use of the Ask a Doubt feature on Unacademy. That is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the session, and I'm going to see you in my next session. Till then, goodbye and stay